Alright guys, yet another one here. Start calling me the Liftgate man or something. I got another, this is a brand spanking new Kia Carnival. Looks really nice. Just got it off the lot. Everything, it's got all the features except no power liftgate. So, you know what I'm about to do. We're going to change those out. We'll see what happens. Looks like we've got a nice little cutout there, so we'll probably have a placement to go right here. For the button, then I'll do something up front plus on the factory remote. So give me a little bit of time and I'll be back showing you the end result with this one. Alright guys, I think I'm actually going to try to turn this into a video. So now again, this is a power liftgate install, there's so many different companies that make them, so this is just the company that we use. They're all pretty much standard. We just use one of the original designers of it. So but either way, I figure I'll show you on this one. Every car is almost very similar. You're doing almost the same stuff to every car, so sometimes just different locations. So first thing I'm going to end up doing is all this plastic. I'm going to pull all this off. So typically this guy pops off first. You can see the line right there. See the line there. You pop him off, come through, pop the side. You can kind of see the other line. Once you pop the two sides, you'll come and you'll pop the main piece off. Typical screws, you'll pop this little cap off. See that line right there? There'll be two Phillips screws in there typically. Sometimes as you pop off these panels, there'll be one Phillips screw like right there, and then you pop this panel off and there'll be one Phillips screw right there. Same thing on the other side. Sometimes there'll be a Phillips screw there, Phillips screw right there. And then you pop all that off. Once you pop all that off, we're going to go ahead and start changing out the arms. So you see these brackets, you're going to get new brackets. Up here, let's block the sun there. See that nut right there? That's what there we go. That's what he's on right there. You're gonna get a new one of these. So all you're really doing is replacing these. Now it's always good to have someone helping you, because someone wants to hold the tailgate up, because once you pop one arm off, the other arm's not gonna hold it. So I'm by myself, I'm on the road. I'm gonna literally probably just use my head to do it, so I'm obviously not gonna hold the camera when I do that part. But and that's it. I'm gonna put on a new bracket there, gonna put on a new one of these guys up top here, and then put the new arm on. The new arm, the wiring will be in the back here, so your wiring will come up here, and then you'll pop this grommet out, and the wiring will go through here, and you'll just fish your wiring through the metal. There'll be a hole right over here that it comes right through. It's very simple. Same exact thing on this side. Put a new strut arm on with the brackets. Wiring's gonna come out of the top here. You're gonna poke right through there. Like I said, you're probably just gonna pull this off, and the new wiring will actually have its own grommet to fit right back in there. So it's very clean. So I'm gonna get that part done, and then I'll come right back. Alright, so the plastic piece was exactly like I said. I pulled off that center piece first, a couple clips. There was a screw right here holding on the edge. Same thing on the other side, just a Phillips screw in there. Pulled that off, and then right there we had a Phillips screw right there. And on the other side, same thing, Phillips screw right there. And then again, I just pulled probably the little cap off here, and right up there we had a Phillips screw in there, and we had a Phillips screw right there. So that's all it is. At this point, I'm just gonna literally pull this off. It's just clipped in now, so you just pry it off gently, and it all unclips. And as you can see, all the paneling's off now. Very simple. Now we're gonna start with the arm. So like I said, we're gonna pull this arm off. I'll start with the left arm. This is how your bracket is. Look at how that attaches, okay? Just 2 bolts, and here you go. Now they give me new hardware and everything. So like I said, brand new bracket. So you see how this arm's actually attaching in this way. Your new bracket is gonna be opposite. The attachment's gonna go over here. So then, let me grab a strut arm. And they're all labeled. Like this arm is literally labeled L for lift. He's going to sit like this when he's done, and there's your grommet right there. That's gonna end up going in there. Pretty simple. And then same thing for the top. So there's your top guy, and you're just gonna unclip them and everything, and then here's this new one. Put a washer on it, boom, slide, he just screws right in. So very simple. To pull these off, if you don't know, take a like a pick tool, pry it in there, and just pry back. That'll loosen this lock tab up, and then you can literally just pull it right off. Same thing on the other side. Right there, pry into that hole, pry out, and then just pull it right off. So very simple. Alright, just a quick shot here. This was just a 12-inch ratchet. Loosen them up. Now I can take them off. And that's it. Again, I'm literally holding this up with my head as I put this guy on here. I think these guys are typically about 14s. So, and that's it. I just literally screwed him right back in. I'll take a 14 ratchet. Just tighten them down, just snug. You don't need to go crazy. Just snug. As you can see, that's still the original bracket. Grab my 10. Alright. Put him down. Alright, so typically the brackets are always stuck. So once you get it on, just kind of pull a little bit. You can kind of hear like the adhesive tape just popping off. So there's the holes. So now, like I said, we're going to use new bracket, new screws. And the kit came with all this. It's not like I had to go buy it. So I'm just following the arrow on the bracket, left, and there's your arrow that's pointing up. So I'm going to go ahead and just mount that there with the new screws. And then we'll get the arm back on. Alright, so I got the new strut over here, and it just locks back in. There's on the new bracket. And then right up here, see if I can do this. Alright, so now typically you're going to have to push up much higher because the new struts are a little bit different than the old struts. So you're going to push it up higher and then locking it in. And you don't have to do the pins, you just literally push it back in, and it locks right in. You'll hear it click. So, alright, give me a second, I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we got the new strut on, and I'm using the old strut just to hold it up so I don't have to hold it, so I can kind of show you guys how to actually pop these off and on. Very simple. So this is on, as you can see. Over here, I popped the top off. I just didn't pop the bottom. This way I can kind of show you guys. So I'm just taking a pick tool or a little flathead, whatever you got, and you're just putting it in there. You're just prying that off a little bit, and that's it. There it goes. It just fell out. Now, to put the new ones on, you don't have to pry at this. It literally will just go and snap in just like that. So don't think that you have to like do it, you know, to put the new one on. It's just to get it off is when you pry. And as you see, I'm just prying, and as I get in there, it just literally pulls right off. Very simple. If you don't pry too hard, the lock goes right back in place, nice and neat. So, all right, let me get these ones taken off. At the same time, I'll show you real quick. Right there. So this, just pry this off with a panel tool. That's all it is, just an open hole. Once you fish this wire up there, this guy's gonna become in the same spot, nice and clean. So that's how it should end up looking. Typically, that is how most of these kits are installed. So let me get that going, get all these set up, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, as you can see, my arms are on nicely, done with. Next up is just running a fish. Like I said, I already popped this off, and I'm just running a fish up through here and up here. Let's see if I can get you guys a good view. There's your opening right there. So that's it. I just fished it down there. It kept going. It only can go one way. It comes down, and just grabbed it with my finger and pulled it right out. So very simple. Fishes, guys, you can use anything. What I do is I go to Home Depot. I get the biggest, largest zip ties they have, which are typically these big white ones, and I just cut the end off. There's my fish. So, all right, we're gonna pull these wires through, and then we'll go from there. All right, so everything's done there. So you see that, how that ends up looking nice and clean, neat. Wiring comes right out of here. I'm just leaving it dangle for right now. Same thing on the other side. Clean, neat, grommets in. Wire just traces up, and there it is, right there, coming out. So same thing, just leave them dangled. Next thing, you want to pop off your grommet here. So it's just rubber, comes right out. Same thing on the other side, just pops right out. And then you want to get a fish through there because you're going to have to run some power wires through it. So these are the plugs going into the module. And then the other side will go all the way up front for power and stuff like that. Power, lighting switches, basic. So cool. Well, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to end up fishing it like through here. I'm just going to pull this down, fish it through, attach it to my fish, and then pull it right through. I'll run this up first, get all that done. I typically get the whole back done, and then I start running wires up front. So, all right, continue. All right, so I got the ground back on, ran the wires through, pretty simple. Like I said, I came through, you can actually see it, here it is. I'm gonna run this up front later. Comes right through, it's really not hard, just pull enough. And I just keep it clean, I just zip it along the line. But then here's your ends. So I just pulled it out, so you've got a bunch of different wires here now just sitting. And again, you'll end up cleaning it up, zipping it up. So as you see, I already went down the edge. Nice and clean. There's factory wiring, and then there's also my wiring zipped to it. Just kept it looking clean. Coming in, there is a ground that you need, so we'll end up using that bolt right there, grounding it right to that. Nice and simple. That's built into the kit too, so I literally just ran that with it. Boom, right there. Sometimes the ground's inside the car, sometimes it's right here. Nice and simple. So all right, we'll get that, and then next we'll continue up here. So the control module, there's no exact place to put it. You don't want to put it where a bunch of holes are if those holes are for your pins. So you want to look at your panel there and see where all those are locking into. You don't want to use those holes. But other than that, I put the module up here and then I just like zip tie it in. So this is what the module looks like, nothing crazy. Everything's labeled so you know what you're gonna do. I literally, I don't know, it'll sit somewhere around here, something like that is what it'll end up, and we'll plug all the wires in and go from there. So something like that. And then you've got right here is your latch. We're gonna remove this, and they gave us a new latch on this kit. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Here's your old latch, one bolt there, two bolts on that side, and look, your new latch. Bracket's already made, one bolt. We'll probably use, looks like the two outer bolts, but we'll find out when I put it up there. So we'll unplug, take this out, and plug this one, get this one locked in. Alright, so there you go with the new latch system put in. Very simple. And then there was the factory plug right there. Our system comes with its own plug, and then it has literally a harness for the factory to plug into. So very simple. Very, very simple. And then these extra wires will end up plugging into the control module. So we'll go from there. Other than that, we for the back, we have the rear tailgate here. I'm going to pop this off, drill a hole, which our kit comes with its own drill bit. So we'll drill our hole, mount our button there, and then I can actually get the back ready to roll and then start running wires up front. All right, hole's done, button's in, very simple. I mean, it's simple, nice, easy. There's your wire for it. I finished up everything in here, so as you see, everything's clean, running nice and neat with the factory. I put the module right here, like I said I was going to. You can see all those plugs, they all have their own home. The only two that you can mess up are the blue ones, because it's right side or left side, but they literally tell you on the top of this module, it says right side, left side. It tells you every single plug, but anyway, very simple. I got that up there. As you see, the latch is done, wiring in. We'll probably zip that up nice and clean. And again, that's all you want to do. You just want to like zip it up, make it look good. Here's my plug that will go into that guy, and that's it. At this point, I'll be able to button this whole thing up. So typically, I don't tell people to button anything up because you want to test it first. So this is the part that you probably don't want to follow me, but I'm going to have this all buttoned up, and then I'll just do the front and move on. You got these strings here. These are just like the emergency pulls. So typically almost every panel has right there the little slot. Just slide these ropes in there and then tie a knot so they don't fall through. And that's just emergency pull in case you know, lose power or something's stuck in the trunk. I don't know. So all right, cool. I'm gonna have this buttoned up and I'm gonna show you guys up front real quick. All right, guys, like I said, I just popped the back panel on real fast. There's our button. I didn't screw anything down, just real quick, just got the back panel on just to get that done with for me. All right, so running this front wire. Now, when you pull these back gaskets, there's grease in here, so you have to be really careful. You can see all that. That just comes in it. It's just the way it is. That touches your fingers, you're going to get that all over the car. So very careful on how you do that. But you just tuck it in, tuck it in. Once you get right here, you'll turn the corner and start going this way. And you kind of already see where I'm going. I'll end up just running it right through the headliner up there. I'll tuck it into that side panel, and I'll literally just stay up top, just run it right up top and down that A-pillar. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll get back to you when I get to the A-pillar. All right, guys, came all the way down, and like I said, I'm in the A-pillar. So on the front ones, they don't have like that grease, so don't have to worry about that. But let me pull off the gasket. But yeah, there's your wire. I popped this panel off. This literally just clips off. Where we at here? Here's what it looks like. It just clips, just pry it right off. Easy as that. So then your wire's gonna go through here. So now in our guides that we give you guys for all these when you're doing them, they'll obviously, they're colored pictures. They're really nice guys. They give you every little thing. They circle exactly where to go, stuff like that. Anyway, I'm not gonna sit there and use that, but in here's your fuse panel. Right in there. So we're going to use what's called an add a fuse. So our kit comes with one of these. Very simple. Add the fuse. There's your line. And then in here, off the harness, there's your other side. Here's going to snap him right on. So there's how you're going to get power. You do have to make your connections for lock, and you also have to make your connection for the light. So everything in here is labeled. So for example, this guy right here literally says 2 light wire. So very simple. You're going to connect this to like a parking light positive, or I guess headlight positive, whatever you can find. And that's pretty simple. Obviously, you know, we can easily give you that information on every car, but that's what you'll connect. So we'll pull this, we'll connect this to like a parking light positive wire. And what that's going to do is make it so that your switch, when your lights are on, this will also illuminate so you can see it. So pretty simple. That's easy. It also comes with, now this kit comes with these CAN wires, CAN high and CAN low. For this, we do not need to install these. The reason you put these on when they come with like Kias and stuff like that is if your factory remote has the actual trunk button on it. So a lot of Kias were coming for a while where they had the factory trunk button on here. It just wasn't working because you didn't have a power trunk. Now, I've hooked them up before on ones that had it. This one doesn't have it, so we're gonna hook up a different wire, and I'll show you that in a second. But I've hooked up the ones that had it. I don't really hook them up too much because they don't typically work all the time. So I've had it where one remote worked, but the other remote did. So it's a lot of like, did Kia program the remotes to work? And if they didn't, then it's not going to work either, even if you connect it. So my move on here is hooking up to the unlock wire. So you'll press your unlock button 3 times in a row, and it'll pop or, you know, or shut, whatever you have it. So, and that is this green wire that's kind of hanging down here. Same thing, he came with the kit. So this goes to your unlock motor. So this thing is already set up to see 3 unlock pulses. So technically if I tap this to like the battery 3 times, it would pop. So that's what we're gonna do, hook this to the unlock. So when it sees 3 unlock pulses, boom, power liftgate works. Sees 3 unlock pulses again, boom, power liftgate shuts. So it'll do everything. So like I said, we'll ignore those CAN wires. We'll hook up these other couple wires, and then we'll be done. Alright, like I said, the wiring, we give you all the manuals, stuff like that, but if you want to know for the Kia Carnival via this video, why not? So, your green wire, which is your unlock motor wire, that's going into a plug that is right there. Actually, while I'm in there, see my fuse tap. I took out a 30 amp fuse, I put it in the fuse tap, slide the tap in, easy as that. Anyway, right there, that plug right there, happens to be this harness. And there's a blue wire. There's 2 pretty close together. You got orange, blue, and gray. Skip all those. Go to the blue below. So you see right there. And you can see where I taped because I tapped into it. So again, there's what you're looking at. So you got that black wire there. Just diagonal. Boom. There's the blue. That's what you want to get to. As far as the parking light wire, I've already kind of taped this up, but whatever. You got that harness right in front. So there's your fuse panel. Harness right below it. Boom. That is this guy. And in here, look down the side where the pink, you got a big blue and a big pink at the top. Go down the pink side, all the way down, right there. See that white with a black? That's the wire I tapped into. That will give you your parking lights. That's a positive parking light wire. So I did those, very simple. Now I'm just gonna plug all these things back in. And again, our manuals tell you everything, but I'll plug all these things back in, and we'll see how she works. Alright, everything's done. I wrapped everything up, made it nice and clean. You should have 1 left plug there. As you can see, I just used our hole saw that it comes with, and that's where I'm going to put the button. Again, our manual will show you exactly where they recommend it. I like doing it right there so it's in line with all these other buttons, nice and clean. So, all right, let's get that done, and we'll keep going. All right, when you're done up front, this is how it should look. Nice and clean, very clean. So let's go to the back. I'm gonna show you how to initialize this. Now, most cars initialize like this. Some cars are different, but you should always read the manual to tell you how yours should be initialized. But on this one, you grab tailgate, put it wherever you want, you know, whatever you think the height adjustment should be. Press and hold the back button until you hear a beep. All right, that's set. Then you press the button once and let go, and see if the tailgate fully shuts. Cool. That's it. That's initializing it. So now I should be able to come over, grab the bottom button there, and there she goes. Back up. Now, what I did was I adjusted some speed settings, and you see it stops right where I was. So let's say you get in it and you go to do it and it closes and it takes forever to close. It's super slow or really fast or something like that. You can change the speed settings on these. Most of these are the same way. So what you'll do is you'll do a double lock. So lock that, make sure it goes to the second lock position. This one automatically does, some of them don't. You want to push in once for a click and then one more for another click. This did it automatically. I did one click and then the second click automatically happened. Press this button. Well, I probably took too long doing it, so let's try it again. We're set like that. One click, there's your second click. Quickly press the button. Each time I press it, that's another speed setting. So 1's slow, 2's okay, 3's 4's not bad, 5's decent. Let's leave it at 5. If you did that, that means you're solid. Now I'm reaching back and I'm grabbing this button to undo the latch. That undid the latch. And take it back to where I had it. I like that. I like it high. Press and hold. And then press and let go. And now all I did was change the speed. You see that's definitely faster. But I like how that shut at the end, so I'm happy with that. And that's how you do it, guys. Very simple, very easy. That's the Liftgate install. And again, that was your speed adjustment. So let's test the buttons up here. Well, actually, I'll bring another video. I'll test the buttons, the remotes, all that good stuff. But at least that's how you initialize it. All right, give me 1 second and I'll go through everything else. All right, we have a completed power liftgate now. So you can see new strut arms, wiring going through, looking beautiful. Wiring going through, new strut arms, back button right up there. This is just the release for if emergency release if they lose power and someone's stuck in the trunk. On the factory remote, it'll hook up to your unlock button 3 times in a row. And we also have a nice clean button up front here. So we'll start with that, I guess. Press and hold that for a second. I heard the beep. And there she goes. Nice and easy. Sucks in nicely. Obviously you can grab the rear handle, but let's try the remote here. So unlock 3 times. 1, 2, 3. There she goes again. Should leave off right where I left it, exactly where I wanted it. And then let's shut her up. Look at that, beautiful. All right, guys, clearly there's a reason why all these dealerships keep using us. We are doing something right. Well, another power liftgate done. Moving on to the next one.